on this 6th-generation pedigree chart, you can see that there's only a few lines that go all the way out to the end. And I wanted to talk about those lines because those are the lines that I've been able to do the best research on. And I wanted to talk about kind of how I found some of the information and how it made it onto this chart. So one tricky thing is figuring out the names of older spouses, who they were, where they were born, and any other details that I can determine. Oftentimes, what happens is the men are better documented than the women. That's because, for instance, men could vote, they could more likely be owning property, more likely in early censuses at least, more likely to be the only person named on that census. So that makes finding the female ancestors' names a lot harder. And I'm going to talk about one person in particular, and that is Helen Wilson right here. So in the case of Helen and James's son, he died really young. You can see he was born in 1852. He died in 1881. I only have the information about this person. I couldn't find the death certificate, even though there should be a statutory death certificate. I could not locate it. But there was a newspaper obituary, a brief one, that explains some of the details. It did give the name of Helen Wilson, but no other details. In fact, the only way I was able to figure out more information about these two people was by finding the death certificate for his sister. So he died in 1881. His sister died in 1922, I believe. Yeah. And basically that was the way I was able to, yeah. So you can see the details about her death right up here. I was able to find out the names of the father and the mother and confirm that they were both born in Scotland. Now, at that point, I had a problem because Helen Wilson is such a common name in Scotland at that time. You know, there's many people named Helen Wilson, and I was not able to determine exactly which one it was. And also at that time in the 1850s when they were married, there just wasn't a lot of information about kind of statutory information that I could use, for instance, official marriage records, and I wasn't able to find a church record either. So I'm kind of stuck at that point to find out more information about Helen, but that's definitely a line that I want to figure out. I had a bit more luck going back a further generation here because I was able to find, with the help of a professional genealogist, some information about them. But Helen Wilson is still a brick wall.